Hello everyone, this is Mike. Welcome to my channel, Mike the Tech Savvy. In the past few weeks, I've used a Samsung Galaxy Note 10 as my daily driver, and I thought it would be a good idea for me to make an all-in-one video where I will make a short unboxing, I will fully review this device, and I'll also discuss about some of its, quirks and its most important features. So let's get started. I will put the device aside for one moment. We won't dwell too much on the unboxing experience, but we should discuss it as well, as this was the last year's flagship Samsung device, and in my opinion, it still is one of the most elegant devices Samsung has ever designed. So we have a pretty normal box by Samsung flagship standards. We have this very nice S Pen shape here, which in reality it's the exact same size as the S Pen inside the phone. So take a look, it's the exact same size. On the back we have the most important features, but I will discuss them in more detail, so we won't really focus on anything right now. Let's go through with the box contents. On the top we have the SIM ejector tool here, and inside the box we have a 25-watt power brick, super fast charging. You can see its specs here. We do have a typical USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable, nothing too special. Some specific things for this device: a USB Type-A to USB Type-C adapter, and a micro USB to USB Type-C adapter. So pretty nice that they included both of these in the package. And of course we do have the pliers and some extra tips for the S Pen. This is a big feature of this device, and Samsung assured that you have a couple more spares in case the one which is already here gets damaged. Let's put everything aside and take a look at the device. It's true that the device also came with a pair of headphones, but I don't have them. It was a standard AKG tuned USB Type-C pair of headphones, so nothing too special. And now onto the device itself. As I told you, it's very elegant, but as you can see I have a case on it right now. Let me just remove it so you'll see the exact shape of the device. And if I did this, I'll also tell you that this is a genuine silicone case from Samsung. You can see here, manufactured by Samsung, made in Korea. This is pretty interesting given that the phone itself is made in Vietnam, but the case is made in Korea. It's quite unusual and quite curious at the same time. So Samsung offers a number of genuine cases, this being one of them. Its cost is around 20 euros, I guess, which is not cheap, but it's a very good quality silicone case, which really does its job protecting the phone. You can see these edges here. It's pretty nice. And I have another case, which is also genuine. This is the booklet style of cover. This one is made in Vietnam. It's pretty nice. It protects the phone, but I don't like it that much because it's kind of made of hard plastic, and I prefer the silicone covers. This one has a very nice feature that you can see the notifications here on this transparent strip. You can answer phone calls, reject them, and so forth. And you can basically answer the phone calls without actually opening the case. And this is pretty interesting in its own. Let's put these aside. This is the most elegant Galaxy Note that Samsung has ever made, if you ask me. I really love how the bezels are so slim. You can see them here. And of course, the phone is very curved here. The curvature is really intense. And yeah, it looks great. There is no doubt about it. We have this center front camera, which is exactly what Samsung has done with the S20 series and with the Note 20 series. On the right side, we don't have anything. It's completely blank. On the left side, we have the volume keys and the lock button, which is interesting because this means that the Bixby key has been removed and that all buttons have been moved to this left side, which is quite unusual at first if you're used to typical Samsung devices. On the top we have the SIM card tray, microphone, and on the bottom we have the USB Type-C, speaker, and last but not least, the S Pen. This is the SIM card tray. We have a dual SIM configuration, of course. At this point, the phone warned me that the SIM card tray is removed, so we should make sure we put it in before exposing the phone to any water. Let's put it back in. And now it's closed. It's really nice that the phone can detect this kind of stuff. I'll start off right off the bat with the design. So we have a very nice aluminum frame, IP68 rating of course, and the phone feels really good in hand. It's a little bit sharpish on the sides, but it definitely feels very, very premium. You have Gorilla Glass 6 on the front and on the back, and it does feel incredible. It's definitely one of the best looking and best feeling devices from Samsung if you can get used to a bigger screen. This is a 6.3 inches dynamic AMOLED full HD display in a 19:9 aspect ratio and has HDR10 plus support and a pixel per inch of about 401, which is pretty good. It's definitely very sharp. The chipset is the Exynos 9825, which is an upgrade on the chipset used in the S10 series, but of course it's still an Exynos, so it taxes the battery life quite a lot. You have 8 GB of RAM. In the Note 10 Plus variant you had 12 as well. As internal memory you have 256 GB, UFS 3.0, which is really fast. Rear cameras, of course, you have a typical layout for Samsung. We have a 12 megapixel wide sensor, 12 megapixel telephoto, and a 16 megapixel ultra wide with fixed focus, a 10 megapixel sensor on the front here. The battery is only 300 and 500 milliamp hours, but it's pretty decent, I might add, even though it doesn't sound like much. You have wireless charging, of course, and reverse wireless charging, so this device has it all, that's for sure. You have an under the display ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, which is not as good as I would like. It's probably the biggest letdown about this device. Regarding the software, we do have Android 10, which is not really a surprise even though 11 was launched, but probably the newer devices will be prioritized, like the Note 20 and the S20 series, with the October security patch level. This video is being filmed on the 2nd of November, so it's okay. I mean, not even the Pixel devices haven't received the November security patch level yet. And of course, the biggest party trick of this device is the S Pen, which is incredible. The nicest thing about this is that when the device is fully locked, like it is now, you can remove it from its home here, and automatically the device will vibrate and will start in a note app, sort of. So it's really easy to create a very quick note, and then you can just put the S Pen back in and the note will be saved. Of course, if you remove it whilst the device is unlocked, you have much more options. You can see the battery life, you have air actions, long press, it will launch the camera, and now you can use it as a remote. It's really nice. This button here on the top, you can use it as a, well, fidget spinner kind of thingy, just to take your anxiety away. If you have it, you can play with it. It has an internal battery, so it's not really suitable for bending or anything like it. And within here, it charges via the same wireless charging technology that is used to charge the device as well. And now that we're in the camera interface, you can see exactly that we have the three options here. This being the main camera. This is the zoomed in camera. And this is the ultra wide, which as you can see, it's one of the best on the market, I guess. Samsung never fails to deliver with its cameras. You can see the exact resolutions. So most importantly, in video, you can film in Ultra HD, 60 frames per second, which is quite nice and quite unique. For example, the Pixel 4a that I'm using right now cannot do this. All in all, this is a very complete package. I know that the device came pre-installed with this app, which is called PenUp. I'm not really sure if it's pre-installed in all regions, but it definitely makes the S Pen, well, pretty useful. You can choose one of the designs here, and then you can either check out what other users have colored, and of course you can also start coloring it yourself, which is very nice. You can zoom in, you can definitely play with it if you're a more creative person. But of course the S Pen isn't only for creative persons in this kind of manner. This is a very, very capable business device. You have Samsung DeX included, which is a very powerful interface, and through a USB Type-C you can simply connect the device to a monitor or a TV, and you have a desktop interface, or a desktop-like interface rather. This device is indeed directed towards power users and towards people who use their phones for quite a lot of multitasking and this kind of thing. It's definitely a suitable phone for a person who uses a phone a lot, and you can see here that in a normal usage pattern, about half of the RAM it's used. So you have about 4 GB available, which is pretty good overall. I cannot really say any bad thing about this device. Of course, we have the obvious stuff, like the fact that there's no headphone jack, but this is a thing that probably doesn't bother everyone. I'm one of the few person that's bothered by this kind of stuff. Other than that, it's really capable. You have an incredible display. You have very nice construction overall, and including the IP rating here. You have a great capability for gaming, for productivity, for anything. This one can really take anything you throw at it. Decent cameras overall. You have this typical Samsung skin. Of course, right now I'm using Nova Launcher, but it does have the One UI and the typical Samsung launcher, which is very familiar for a lot of users. The battery life is really good. It's definitely much better than on my S10e. The only downsides that I can see are the fact that the device is larger, but I also see an advantage here. This device is much smaller compared to the Note 20 series. And of course, you have a very nice display and basically no wasted space here on the front. Just check out these narrow bezels. It's really incredible. The device is kind of squarish here and kind of, well, sharp around these corners. And I would really be scared if I would drop it on the front. Probably a replacement display is quite a lot of money for this. So as cons, I will mention very few things. We have the fingerprint scanner, which is definitely not on par with the whole device that we have here. It's pretty slow and it doesn't work all the time. We have no autofocus on the ultra wide lens. This is sometimes the case, but for a flagship like this, you should definitely have it. We don't have a 3.5mm jack. And of course, if you're a typical Samsung user, you might feel that it's quite unusual to have the power button here. For me, I'm a right-handed person. It's really unusual to unlock this device. Let's say you're using Face Unlock. Of course, you can double tap to unlock it, just like I'll do here. And right now you can use the biometrics, but you don't have the power button here, so it's kind of unusual. If you're a left-handed person, probably this one is better for you. I guess that's about it. Everything else is really nice. You have excellent performance, an excellent design, and if I would have to choose a Note device out of the whole lineup, so starting at Note 1 and finishing with the Note 20, I would definitely choose the Note 10. This is the most compact and the most elegant device from the Note series, in my opinion. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please press the thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more similar videos in the future, also press the subscribe button, which will be displayed right here in the bottom left parts. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Of course, in the video description, you'll also see the links to my social media accounts and my Patreon account. Thank you so much. This was Mike the Tech Savvy. Stay safe, guys. Until next time. Bye.